We are ready. Peace, 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 my loves. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. Welcome in to all of my YT family, to all of my TikTok family. This is all things self mastery. This is all things mastery. It used to be all things self mastery. This is all things mastery. And I am your host, educator, and expert self mastery mentor, Venus Scott. Welcome in, welcome in. You are in for quite a surprise, quite a surprise. We are going to be given another master lesson this evening. We're going to be talking about what we typically talk about in all things that fall under the umbrella of attracting, manifesting, how to get unblocked, how to get unstuck. All of these things are important. Stay tuned. We're going to be back right after this brief commercial. That is my absolute. Hey, we're back. Okay, y'all ready for some information, right? We talk about knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power. However, it only becomes powerful when we actually apply it. So listen, let's take a deep breath. Thank you for the hearts, thank you for the taps. Thank you for it. Listen, before we get started, if you are not supporting by what they call following, please make sure you hit that subscribe button on either platform. It is absolutely free. Make sure you comment. Therefore, you'll always be notified when I come live. So let's now take a breath. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale. How many of you know it's important to pause? Black Sam, how are you? How many of you know it is important, I would say imperative for us to pause every now and again from the hustle and bustle and the busyness. It's time to learn something, right? Because we keep saying all the time, how are you, Black Sam? We say all the time, I want to attract, I want to manifest, I want more money, I want more love, I want more romance, I want more confidence, I want more peace, I want more security, I want elevation, I want. And so this is where you learn how to get what you want, right? In order for you to get from point A to point B, we need an address, we need a destination. Okay, and so this evening is going to be pretty much the same. I'm going to be giving you the address, I'm going to be giving you where to turn left, where to turn right, where to stop, where to continue, where to pause. Also, you can do what? Finally put yourself in the position to attract whatever it is you want to. And a lot of times we're not doing that, right? We're not doing that, right? So we need to understand how to get unstuck, right? How many of us are stuck? It's okay. You don't, it's okay. Transparent honesty is what we need. This is how we move forward. How many of us want to get unstuck? How many of us want to create a new life? How many of us want a desired reality? Yes. First, let me pause and say this. I sincerely understand that there is an overwhelming amount of information. I understand that there are a lot of things that we're hearing all the time. I understand that a lot of people are talking. I understand that we are overstimulated with information. We're overstimulated with, let me show you how, let me show you how. However, with all of the stimulation, with all of the information that you are gaining, I always encourage you to do the research for yourself, right? If there is anything you want to learn, if there's anything you want to master, if there's any profession you want to get into, guess what? You need the required information. You need the required training on how to get there. Creating your desired reality is no different, right? If you want romantic love, if you want to forge healthy relationships, if you even want to have a healthy relationship with yourself, if you want more opportunities that you absolutely want, whether you want to vacation every now and again, right? Whether you want to stop robbing Peter to pay Paul, infinite gratitude for the gifts, right? All of this requires you to take actionable steps. All of this requires you to sit back and be truthfully honest with yourself, right? I know when I was deeply depressed, I was lying to myself because I learned all too well how to dress up my depression. I learned all too well how to dress up and make my insecurities look good. I knew all too well on how to mask my anxiety. I knew all too well how to what operate within my destruction. I knew all too well how to pretend to be and to do the very same things I was hooping and hollering about. So I get it, my loves. It wasn't until I finally made the decision and I heard it as clear as day. Venus, you cannot be both the victim and the victor at the same damn time. You have to choose one. Whatever you want, whatever you desire, whether it is more support, whether it is more peace, whether it is more wealth, whether it is overcoming fear, which a lot of us are moving in, scarcity and fears, especially with a lot of things that is going on, no matter if it's opportunities, no matter if it's growing a business, starting a business, expanding a business, no matter if it's overcoming depression. I'll say that again, no matter if it's overcoming depression, a large percentage of us, according to the facts, according to the stats, are deeply depressed. And we're covering it, we're masking it. However, it's causing us to continually self destruct. I'll say this and I'll say it again and I'll continually say it. What you feed will gain power and what you starve will lose its power. It doesn't matter if you're aware of it, if you're unaware of it. It doesn't matter if you accept it or if you don't accept it. The best thing you can do to get out of depression is first admit that you are suffering from depression. You are in depression. At that moment in which you are transparent, honest with yourself, the deeper reasons why isn't as important as you being completely honest with yourself and saying something isn't right within my heart. Something isn't right within my mind. I keep on attracting the same people, places, and things. I keep on finding myself in toxic conversations. I keep on finding myself in toxic relationships. I keep on entertaining foolishness. I keep on attracting men and women who are constantly abusing me, using me, taking advantage of me. I keep going to the same job that I cannot stand. I keep bitching and moaning and complaining every day. And you wondering why you're continually falling. You're continually moving backwards. You're not staying the same. You're not staying the same. Nothing stays the same. So when it comes to the quote unquote cliche, it's not just a cliche. Attracting what and who you desire is a real thing, my loves. And guess what? You're doing it right now. Those of you who are here, you were purposed to be here. I keep mentioning there is nothing that happens by coincidence, happenstance, or luck. Everything, and I mean everything from the smallest to the grandest of things happen because what? One, you caused it to happen too. You are vibrating, you are attracting according to the same frequencies you are vibrating on. So everything that is in your reality is why? Is what? Because you are creating it, you are causing it. So when it comes down to defeating depression, overcoming anxiety, building more confidence, right? When it comes to us wanting more opportunities, when it comes to us finally being in a financial situation or a financial place where we don't have to go to work for the man, where we don't have to say yes, massa, all day long, where we don't have to kiss ass, where we don't have to keep robbing Peter to pay Paul. You make the decision to do that. And every time you make a conscious or unconscious decision to not do something about getting out of your current situation, guess what? You go deeper and you fall deeper and deeper into it. There is no ifs, ands, buts, or about it. That's not up for debate, my loves. That's the thing we need to understand. So when every time I speak passionately about pay attention who you are entertaining. Pay attention who you are allowing in your universe, in your vortex. Pay attention who you are associated with. That term, birds of a feather flock together, wasn't created just for the sake of it. When you truly understand energy, when you truly understand frequencies, There is no such thing as another person or another place. The energies and frequencies and vibrations of those other people and places isn't going to attach to you in somehow. A lot of us think we can continually people please and nothing happens. A lot of us think we can continually support people who don't really deserve our support because they're not reciprocating. A lot of us think we can keep on entertaining certain conversations. A lot of us think we can keep on attaching ourselves, connecting ourselves to individuals who are showing potential. Right? I see the potential in him. I see the potential in her. Oh, because they support me every now and again, that's not going to affect you. When is the last time you jumped in the pool and didn't get wet? When is the last time you jumped in the pool and didn't get wet? There's no such thing as you entering someone else's vortex, world, reality, and they're entering your vortex, world, or reality without some of their shit rubbing off on you. And when you're wondering why, you starting to smell like shit, you starting to look like shit, right? You starting to be shit. Perhaps it's time to evaluate who you're entertaining, right? That's important. Who you associate yourself with is important. Potential need to go grow some wings and fly the fuck out of town. Okay? Because every time you make a conscious decision to keep going to the job in which you're miserable about, in which you're miserable in, without making plans to exit, every time you associate with someone who you know damn well isn't helping you, isn't supporting you, isn't supposed to be a part of isn't supposed to be in your season right now. Just as the seasons of life, we are constantly going to be moving in, through, and out of the seasons of life, right? And there are certain individuals who do not belong in your now season. I'll say that again. There's certain individuals who do not belong in your now season, right? And you're running around with a flat tire. How many of us ever experienced riding around in a flat tire? You can't go as far and fast, can you? Right? A lot of us got flat tires that we riding around with instead of changing it out, instead of switching it out, all because you love that tire. That was the greatest tire. That tire helped supported you. Well, it ain't supporting you no more, baby. It's flat. It's dry. It's running out of air. It's ran its course. Get a new tire. Get a new friend. Get a new mentor. Get a new mentor, correct? Because listen, this is all about elevation. This is all about expansion. Are we paying attention? How are you going to practice awareness if you don't have the information? We'll say it again. Thinking something, speaking something, and being something is entirely different. I don't know anyone that's in their right mind who don't want more of something. It's absolutely okay. Whatever materialistic thing you want, whether it's a house, whether it's a car, whether it's a new pen, whether it's a new computer, whether it is a pair of shoes or a pair of sneakers, whether you want a vacation, whether you want a new house, a new home, a new apartment, no matter what it is, it's all available to you. It's all available to you. You can have it. You are always manifesting. You are always attracting. There's no such thing as you are it. There's no such thing. However, when you start to when you start to gain a different perspective, which means you have to gather new information, right? Please, my loves, listen, I don't do this without you. Right? As long as I'm here, the only thing that I would ever ask is for you to tap the screen. Let's help the algorithm do what it do, right? Let's contribute to raising the vibration. That's it. That's it. Just continue to tap the screen, share your comments, right? Understanding the law of exchange. Right? There will always be an exchange. There must always be an exchange. And a part of you mastering yourself and mastering your reality is being aware. When you have an opportunity to exchange, what you may think is the smallest of things can make the grandest impact in your life. That's just the truth. That's not up for debate. It's just the truth. So this is where we take a pause. This is where we stop scrolling. This is where you listen to your higher self. This is where you actually should pay attention and stare at the reflection, because guess what? We are reflections of each other. People who enter your vortex, who enter your reality, is going to always mirror two things. They're going to mirror your higher self, a reflection of your higher self, or a reflection of who you don't want to be. Let me say that again. Anyone who enter your vortex, your reality, your world, right? Your atmosphere, right? Your home, whatever it is you may call it, is going to do two things. They are going to mirror your higher self, your higher version, the person that you aspire to be, or they going to mirror the person that you no longer want to be. So yes, it's time to pause. It's time to pause, because what? Let's go back to what I was just saying. If you want anything, former military here, Jay, yes. Okay, former Army, I'm a veteran, Army vet. Okay, if you want anything, it don't matter what it is. If you want anything, if you want a new wig, if you want a new hat, if you want a new haircut, if you want a new hairstyle, if you want a new pair of shoes, if you want a husband, if you want a wife, if you want a life partner, if you want a soulmate, a soul flame, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, if you want whatever opportunity, put me in the comment section. This starts with you raising your vibration, and this is how you do it. Put me in the comment section. If there's something that you currently want, put a me in the comment section. Somebody put a me for me. Somebody put a me for me, because it's me too. It's me too. Okay. I'm no different. I'm not that different. Yes, T, I see it. I see it. Lala, I see it. Nashima, I see it. Yes. Me for you. Thank you so much, Tia. Yes, Jay. Yes. Me for Venus. Thank you, Lala. And that's absolutely beautiful. You should have aspirations. Earthman, how are you, my love? Peace. You should want something, even if it's more happiness, even if it's to smile more, even if it's to build your confidence more. It's okay to want something. It's okay to have aspirations. It's not just okay. You should have them. It's one of your divine purposes of being here, is to experience life in an abundance of what you actually want, instead of an abundance of what you don't want. Remember when I said perception? Your perception, gaining perspective, plays a huge part, because there's a lot of people who are misguiding you. They're giving you inaccurate information, and they are advising you of the lies that they continually tell and live. And a lot of us are easily swayed because we're not tapped in as we should. Okay? Perspective. Abundance is not only the equivalent to having more of the things that you don't have, or more of the things that you want. Abundance is abundance, and it simply means having more. And a lot of us, we have an abundance of depression, we have an abundance of loneliness, we have an abundance of anxiety, we have abundance of scarcity, we have an abundance of fear, we have an abundance of lack. It's just the truth. Just look around you. Just say ouch. Because for a lot of us, that's us. Just say ouch. So when we speak about abundance, when we speak about attracting, manifesting, assumption, when we speak about gaining higher awareness, when we speak about any of those things, information is imperative. Comprehension of that information is imperative. Understanding the information is imperative. Understanding the information is imperative, because unless you comprehend exactly what you're thinking, exactly what you're speaking, you are going to continually do the things that you don't no longer want to do, and you do not currently understand why, right? Behaviors. Why do we keep doing the same damn thing over and over and over and over and over and over again? Well, those things have answers. So my suggestion for anyone, reasons why you should stop. Reason, and I say this sincerely, reasons why we should stop dating, those of us who are single. And now I'm not saying don't aspire, don't have aspirations too. I'm saying at this point, there are things that we need to pause, right? Put on pause in order to get ourselves in position. However, as long as you are, I'm going to say this respectfully, as long as you are desperate for a relationship, whether you admit it or not, as long as you are desperate for companionship, as long as you are desperate for love, namaste, nama, living out of alignment makes us suffer, ashe. As long as you are transmuting your sensual sexual energy, as long as you are chasing money, as long as you are chasing these things, guess what? They're going to continually get further and further away from you. And what you don't know is that if you are not evolving, you are devolving. If you are not ascending, you are descending. If you are not moving forward, you are moving backward. If you are not moving to the right, you're moving to the left. There is no such thing as things remaining the same. They're either getting better or they're getting worse. And a lot of us, they're getting worse. They're getting worse. And I don't want that for you. I really don't. There's a lot of us who really, truly want better in all aspects of life. We simply don't know the how to. And there are a very few amount of us who are actually qualified to give you the how to stop suffering so much. Get out of depression, right? Start to mature. Stop thinking that life is a joke and a game. A lot of us are just overwhelmed with information. A lot of us are consumed with so much garbage. A lot of us are so backed up with garbage. It has to filter somehow. Stagnant energy compounds. Energy has to constantly move, and when it's stuck, it implodes. And a lot of us, for a lot of us, our energy centers are blocked. In order to create anything, you need available energy to create, right? In order for something to thrive, to grow, it has to live in a healthy environment. It's just like planting seeds. You cannot expect to plant an apple seed, a mustard seed, an avocado seed, a seed of hope, a seed of joy, a seed of abundance of whatever you want, a seed of marriage, a seed of opportunities, a seed of all things that are beautiful if the soil is destroyed. If the soil is inhabitable, and a lot of our minds are inhabitable, a lot of our bodies are inhabitable, we don't have available energy to create, and we wondering why we wondering why we keep going further and further and deeper into the hole of disparity and discouragement. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on teaching. I'm gonna keep on sharing with you. For those of you who are just coming in, hey, love, hey. Peace, love, peace. My name is Venus, okay? Venus Scott, okay? To be accurate, okay? I am a best-selling self-published author, 3 books currently, okay? I have been teaching and educating on self-mastery, how to master yourself, how to master your reality for well over 15 plus years. I know what I know. I don't just believe in it. I know what I know. So when it comes to a lot of the reasons as to why I am qualified, baby, I'm qualified. And several of the mentees who are either in my master programs, currently creating your desired reality, or who have been in my master program, right? They can attest, right? Because for some reason, us humans need receipts. Some reason us human needs receipts. And I'll tell you what, there ain't nothing wrong with a receipt, my love. However, if you continually rely on external sensory input, baby, you're going to miss the greatest elevation you can ever experience, right? Because the gag is, the trick is, the deception is for you to continually think that you are only physical, for you to continually rely on what you visually see, what you can touch with your hands, right? What you can see tangibly, what you can feel tangibly, right? What you can hear audibly. A lot of us are under the spell that in order for us to believe something, in order for us to know something, we have to physically hold it in our hand. We have to physically see it. We have to visually see it. We have to audibly hear it, right? Like we don't have sound that don't exist. But let me tell you something. Let's do this experience. Let's do this experience. I want y'all to see this right now. Okay? What color is this? What color is this? Thank you, Lala. I can attest. Synchronicities. What color is this? Okay. What color is this? What color is this pen? Can someone tell me what color is this pen? Turquoise. Ashe. This is the turquoise pen, right? Turquoise pen. Y'all can hear it tapping. Y'all can see this, right? Y'all can hear the taps. Now let me know if you can hear the taps. I know it may be a bit ignoring, but stick with me. I'm about to show you how powerful you are. Stick with me. I'm about to show you the secret. You hear it? You hear it, Jade? Lala, I hear you. I know it may be annoying, but somebody, come on. Come on. I'm about to show you something. I'm about to teach you something. I'm about to remind you how powerful you are. Now I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and just pause. Now open them. Now, how many of you for a second could still see this turquoise pen I'm holding up with these sparkles, with these bedazzles? How many of you with your eyes closed can still hear? Who is that? Who is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? This pen was created with energy. What are your thoughts? They are energy. This pen carries a certain frequency. You are powerful. If words and thoughts and vibrations and frequencies can destroy, guess what? They can also create. When you get to a point of mastery, when you can see with your eyes closed, when you can hear without audible sound, when you can feel without using your hands, when you can taste without physically putting something in your mouth, and then learn how to master that. Phoenix, how are you, my love? That's mastery. That's power. So why do you think metaphysical secrets aren't secret no more? Why do you think they have lied to you for centuries? Why do you think you've been programmed to think that you can't do nothing without an external God? That the only way you can have a husband, have a wife, have more money, have more opportunities, right? Have more love if as only if God says you can have it, or God feel you're deserving of it. This turquoise pen was first created in somebody's mind. What we don't currently understand is that everything that is happening outside of you is first happening inside of you. Nothing happens externally before it happens internally. What if you truly knew this and not just believed this? What if you truly started practicing what it truly means to attract, to manifest what and who you desire? to the point where you begin now to step and be into and get into alignment with those very things. What if you can do those things at will? What if you truly remembered that you are not just this avatar? What if you remembered that you're not just Phoenix, that you're just not Lala, that you're just not Conjure? What if you remembered that you are a powerful soul? What if you remember that you are no one yet everyone, that you are nowhere yet everywhere, everywhere? What if you remembered who you truly are? What if you remember the power that you actually have? Would you still be miserable every day? Would you still have mommy issues? Would you still have daddy issues? Would you still allow others to dictate your every step? Would you still be depressed? Would you still be miserable? Would you still have anxiety? Would you still be in lack? Would you still have a lack of anything? Would you still have no opportunities presented to you? What if you remembered who you are? What if you were never told that you were nobody? What if you were never told that you had to work hard, baby? I work hard for the money. What if you were never told that what if you were never told that you have to slave? What if you were never told that you have to work your body to the ground, work your spirit into the ground, work your soul into the ground, just so you can pay the rent, just so you can afford to feed and nourish your family? What if you were never told you have to get on there and stay on the assembly line? What if you were never told that there was a God outside of you? What if you were never told these things? What if you were never told about their so-called people who run you? What if you were never told that the government dictates every move you make? What if you were never told those things, baby? What would you do? Who would you be? Where would you go? Come on now, let's get with it. We're talking about changing lives here. But no one is going to do it for you. They can do it with you, but no one is going to do it for you, baby. I can't want these things better than you want it for yourself. Infinite gratitude, Beezy. I cannot want it for you. I can run the race with you. And I am more than willing to run the race with some of you. Notice I ain't say all of you because, baby, it is the kumbaya. We all gonna sit in the circle and sing kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Baby, that is long gone. I know that everyone is in purpose to ride on the same car, on the same train, going to the same destination at the same damn time. And that's okay. So, are there some of you that I'm willing to run the race with? Walk the race with you? However, baby, you got to cross that line. You got to cross that line. Tell me, before they even made vehicles that can ride on its own, right? Before the Michael Knight days, right? That was the first vehicle that drove on its own. Before the Michael Knight days, right? Before the Michael Knight days, right? Vehicles didn't drive on their own. Vehicles didn't get from point A to point B on its own. Baby, there needed to be a driver. You needed to literally get in the car. You literally need to stick the key in the car. You literally need to turn the engine. You literally need to put your foot to the gas, baby. And before that, guess what? You actually need a car. You actually need an engine in a car. And what does the car need, baby? Fuel. Baby, a lot of y'all gas tanks is dry, just dry, baby. And you wondering why you ain't going nowhere. Your gas tank on E, your spirit on E, your energy on E, your information, your knowledge on E, your confidence on E, your self-esteem on E, your wisdom is on E, your abilities is on E. And I understand why a lot of us are just tired. I get it. A lot of us are tired. Some of us have been working since we were what? 7? Parenting our younger siblings, parenting our parents, Some of us have been working, baby. Some of us have been working for the man since we was what, 10, 12, 13, 14. Baby, some of us have been slaving. Some of us have been slaving. So yeah, I get it. Some of us, I know we're tired. We're tired in our minds. We're tired in our bodies. But yet we got to do what? They keep telling us we got to keep going. 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 That's a fucking lie. That's a lie. You do not have to march to someone else's rhythm if you do not want to. There's a such thing as you positioning yourself to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. There is a such thing as you doing it the way you want to do it. However, if you keep on blaming the damn government, if you keep on blaming the system, if you keep blaming a YT man and a YT woman, if you keep arguing about the stupidest shit, if you keep arguing about 50-50, if you keep arguing and desperate and keep asking dumbass questions, if you keep on just wanting somebody to push a quick fix in your vein as if you are a dope, blah, blah, blah. Ain't nothing gonna work out for you in the way that you want it to. It's gonna come a time where you have to actually pause, right? And this is why I say we have to pause, because a lot of us need to shift. A lot of us need to put ourselves in an environment where we can release all the toxins, where we can release all the bullshit, right? Where we can release and filter every mental program, everything that anybody have ever said that knowingly or unknowingly caused us to further destruct. A lot of us need to sit down, sit with ourselves, and endure what you don't like. Face it instead of running from it. Face it. Sit in it. Sit in your disgust. Sit in you being sick and tired of being sick and tired of. Sit in it. It is the way you process it. You have to process it. You must process it. We have to sit down and take the time to filter out all of the garbage, all of the toxins, right? It doesn't matter so much. Those of us, those who've been influenced by people, places, and things, our parents, loved ones, right? Peace, love, how are you? Hi, Storm. Hi, Tamika. Hi, my love. A lot of us, we run from the pain. We run from the suffering, and I get it. It's uncomfortable. Oh, I miss you too. I really do. Please know that you are always in my meditations. A lot of us, we're running from the pain. And there's no such thing as shit disappearing. It compounds. Remember, what you feed indirectly or directly gains power, and what you starve loses its power. And so many of us, we keep running from the same things, the very same things that's put in our atmosphere, our aura, to mature us, to grow us. How are you going to advance to level 2 if you never mastered level 1? It's not how it works. It's not how it works. If you think that you are going to attract the very same things, the very same essence, the very same energies and vibrations and frequencies, if you're not on it, you're sadly mistaken. The prerequisite for alignment is align. There is no alignment. It is impossible for you to get into alignment with the people, places, and things and the experiences if you are not aligned, right? That's one of the prerequisites, right? And so there are things that we have to understand, right? There must be a purge, per se. There must be a process. You must, if you want, there must be a time where you say, you know what? I don't currently know as much as I think I do. The people who are currently in my life right now don't know as much as they want to do. And even though they mean well, even though they may have good intentions, does not necessarily mean that they can help me get to point A to point B. How the hell are you going to go to school and learn how to be a physician if you're in a carpentry class? Let's make things make sense. Even if it's uncomfortable, let's make things make sense. Peace, Brian. How are you, my love? Let's make things make sense. The only way you, hi, Periscope, hi, my love. The only way you can complete a puzzle is if you have the pieces to the puzzle and if you put them in their respective place. If you put them in a perspective place. So when I talk about, let's take a pause for the cause, okay? Let's take a pause for the score, for the cause. Can we tap the screen real quick? Can we tap the screen real quick? I would play some music. Thank you, Periscope. Hashtag self-mastery. Hashtag FYP. Come on, let's do what it do. Let's do what it do. We talk about taking accountability, right? We talk about responsibility, right? We talk about community. We talk about raising the vibrations, right? Of not only ourselves, but the collective and the universe. Baby, this is how we do it. Pushing positivity, pushing high vibrations, pushing content, pushing messages, pushing information that actually should be there, my love. You will never know what impact you can make on another person's life by simply just smiling, by simply just saying, hey, Lord, what's up? What's good? Just by, right? So yes, let's play our part. Let's play our part. Now back to the missing pieces. Okay. We don't have to get to 10,000 more. I know y'all tapping the screen. The missing pieces. What do we need to understand? We're talking about the puzzle pieces, right? The process. The process for everything there is a formula. For every destination there is an address. Right? There are pieces to the puzzle. What are the pieces to the puzzle that we're missing when it comes to the law of attraction, when it comes to understanding universal principles, when it comes to, right, us getting into alignment? What are the requirements? Understanding the processes are one of the requirements. And a lot of us are in corporate jobs. We are in corporate industries. We are in jobs. We are in businesses, right? Even as us being parents, right? Us being guides, us being tutors, mentors, whatever it is, coaches, there are processes, right? Without processes, without systems, without operations, without structure, the foundation is weak, my love. The foundation is weak. Gia, my love, infinite gratitude, right? The foundation is weak. Any master builder, any master contractor, any master architecture would tell you, you do not put sheetrock up before you build the foundation. You do not start electrical work until the foundation is built. How are you thinking that you can start electrical work, you can start plumbing work, and you haven't even dug the ground up? You haven't even, the foundation is just rocky, it's weak, it's built on sand, baby. You don't have not a wall in place talking about, I'm ready to do the plumbing, I'm ready to do the electricity. And a lot of us think we going forward, but we really going backwards. If your foundation is built upon a weak surface, baby, it's going to fall. It's bound to fall with the weakest wind that blows. Peace purpose. How are you, my baby? With the weakest wind that blows, and we wondering why we just, oh my goodness, what they sound is so great. People just lying to you from left and right with a fucking smile, and you just, oh my God, it just makes me feel good inside. They have to be telling the truth because they articulated the word properly. Just because someone can say I'm wise doesn't mean that they actually wise. Just because someone say I'm aware doesn't actually mean they're aware. Someone that says I'm a disciplinarian or a confidence or a spiritual leader or spiritual coach does not absolutely mean that they can educate you, especially if they're living the lies that they're telling you. And you just, oh my goodness, you're right. And, I agree. Baby, do you not know every exchange matters? Every exchange influences the outcome of your reality. And you wondering why you going backwards real fast. You taking everything for face value and you're not even checking their spirit. You're not even vetting them. We talk about vetting the men and women. Baby, are you vetting your coaches? Are you vetting your mentors? Are you vetting your friends? Baby, let me tell you, are you vetting your mamas and your daddies and your sisters and your uncles? Just because they have that title and attachment don't mean that you have to participate. Baby, a lot of our parents loved us, but they fed us inaccurate information. It matters. It matters. What does integrity mean to you? We're talking about getting the missing pieces. We're talking about putting together our puzzle of life, right? We're talking about that. Meanwhile, you associated and attached to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that making that appear to sound good and just regurgitating and repeating shit that they just heard. Some of us have really amazing memory recall. Just because you can repeat something or regurgitate something don't mean that you absolutely know something. I'll say it. I said it. I'll say it again. Some of y'all need to sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Some of us need to sit down. Because you know what you're doing? You're directly or indirectly influencing other people. And you are a part of their destruction. It don't matter. I don't care what you say. Baby, if you ain't walking it like you talk it, you gonna walk in the other goddamn direction. About face forward march. I don't give a hoot who you are. When do you decide that you are worth more? When do you decide that you're going to start taking your life seriously? When do you decide that you're no longer going to play around with your life? When are you going to decide that the people who you have in your life matters? Right? They matters. Do we understand? Do we understand the processes? Do we truly understand frequency? Right? Because a lot of times we really don't. A lot of times we really don't understand frequency. How can you understand frequency when you still talking reckless and crazy about yourself? How do we understand frequency, elevation, and awareness when you still talking crazy about yourself or entertaining crazy conversations? I don't give a damn. Even my friends knew back in the days when I used to say that itch word, I no longer said it because you know what? I'm like, you know what? I am nobody bad itch. I am nobody boss itch. I ain't an itch, period. Because the day that I decide to walk on all fours is the day that my name is no longer Venus. It's the day that I decide that I am no longer a goddess that I create. It's the day that I decide. Peace, my love. How are you, number 9? Yeah, it's a big difference when you know, and only the real can recognize it, right? Ain't nobody no bad-ish, and then you wondering why you getting whooped and dragged all across. And I really don't even like to use that term or use that as an analogy because animals are beautiful. However, in the context of what I just said, why would you in your right mind want to keep saying, allowing other people and you to use that fucking term if you talking about, I am aware, I'm so aware. I'm conscious and I'm this and I'm that. Meanwhile, you also educating other people talking about I'm a bad itch. And yes, itch. Baby, I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish you would. And I mean that on all levels. I wish you would. Because the day you even attempt, you got 2.2 seconds before I fucking unfriend you. 2. I'm not, why? That's not an enduring term. So we still talking about the missing pieces of the puzzle. We're still talking about awareness, right? We're still talking about what? Integrity. Oh, it sound real good though. It sound real good though. Come on. A person that constantly says, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. Let me be honest. Baby, let me tell you something. All you do is got to be tapped in and pay attention. All you do is have to be tapped in and pay attention and stop turning a blind eye and closing your ears. Stop it. That is hurting a lot of us. Stop doing that. For the love of all things pure, please stop doing that if you love your life. How are you aware? How are you self-aware? How are you confident? How are you intelligent? How are you leading anybody if your life does not operate with integrity? There are people who are blatantly lying. There are people who are dangling your fears, your lack right in front of you, and they're using it to unjustly manipulating you. I can't stand it. How the hell, in all hell, are you trying to teach me how to do anything when you desperate yourself? How? How? When you are only, what do they call them, licenses that you can only drive a vehicle? Type C, Part C, Type C license. You got a Type C license and you trying to teach me how to drive a truck, how to drive a semi. Baby, you ain't qualified. Baby, stay in your lane. Stay in the vehicle. Stay in your lane. You can't teach me how to drive a damn semi with a Type C license. It's impossible. No integrity. No integrity at all. And we're so easily moved and easily swayed. Let me tell you something. The only and baby, some of us gonna say ouch, but just get it out the way. Just say ouch ahead of time. Ouch. Say ouch. Ouch ahead of time. Ouch ahead of time. The only people who can be unrighteously and easily swayed are weak-minded and weak-willed people. And if you no longer want to be weak-minded and weak-willed, if you no longer want to be the victim, if you no longer want to play the victim, pay attention. Come out of it. Just come out of it. Just simply come out of it. If you don't want to be labeled a coward, stop doing cowardice shit. Stop behaving like a coward. Right? If you don't want to be labeled as a liar, stop lying. Or either stop telling them big ass, bold, red lies. Because the other side of the spectrum is that, you know what? Let me retract that. We all lie to a degree. Right? So I'm going to give us grace. I'm going to give us grace because even though a lie is a lie, so I'm not going to say a lie ain't a lie. A lie is a lie. However, how big is your lie? How deceptive is your fucking lie? Especially now, it's one thing to lie to yourself. That's different. It is one thing to lie to yourself. It's an entirely different thing when you are fucking intentionally lying to other people, knowing that they are impressionable, knowing that some people are hanging on to your every word because they want an escape, because they don't want to feel lonely no more. They want to be a part. They really want to learn something. They really want to not be depressed. They really want to not be lonely. They really want to ascend and accelerate. They really want to gain all of these things. Now, that's where I take an issue. That's where I take an issue, because you know you ain't nowhere near about that life. Let me ask y'all a question. If you was against pedo, if you was against that, now, yes, that's, and I'm gonna go extreme. If you was against pedophilia, if you was against pedophilia, would you connect yourself to that type of person? Would you talk to that person? Will you hang with that person? Will you associate with that person? Let me know in the comment section. If you are against pedophilia, would you attach to that person? Would you be affiliated with that person? Would you call that person friend? Would you vouch for that person? I see that. Absolutely not. Nope, Lala. Nope, Phoenix. Absolutely not. Right, Queen? Absolutely not. Right? That's a baby. When I tell you, baby, when I say Brian, when I say that's a hard no, baby, that's a hard no. A hard pass for me. Famika, I see you. It's a hard no. Now let's make this hit home. Let's get real serious. You want to operate in integrity. You want to attract what and who you desire. You want to forge healthy relationships. You don't want to be a liar, right? You want to have integrity. You want to be responsible, and you want to be integral, right? You want to be honorable. Now tell me, why in all things pure would you align yourself with the very opposite of those things? If you don't support pedophilia, why would you associate with a person? And that's the type of mindset that you need when it comes to you attaching yourself to people, places, and things who are known pedophiles, who are known liars, who are known unrighteous manipulators, who are known to not walk it like they talk it. How are you trying to teach me how to heal and you got mommy issues? You got daddy issues. How are you trying to teach me how to operate without scarcity when you hard pressed for $1? How can you try to show me how to have respect when you don't respect yourself? How are you going to teach me how to be responsible when you constantly keep making all type of excuses, justifications, rhymes, or reason as to why you can't take the necessary steps to do right, to do better, to elevate, to ascend, to mature? How are you going to teach me how to respect myself when you are live in front of the whole wide world, entertaining conversations where people, men and women, are calling you all type of bitches and ninjas? How are you going to try to teach me about presenting myself in a way where I feel respected, where I feel honorable, and you getting up in front of the whole world, in front of the whole world to see? Ain't brush your teeth, ain't fix your hair, ain't wash your, just come and presenting yourself any old kind of way, and you trying to teach me about what? Make that make sense. But you don't associate yourself with pedophiles, right? You don't associate yourself with liars and thieves and unrighteous manipulators. You really want to participate in elevated and maturing the people. Peace, Omega. How are you, my love? You want to operate, like you want to ascend. You want to get in alignment. How? If you do not understand universal principles and laws. It's one thing to speak about universal laws. It's an entirely different thing to actually operate within universal laws and principles, right? So we speak about awareness, right? We speak about cause and effect. We speak about correspondence. We speak about the law of mentalism. We speak about materialization. We speak about esoteric and exoteric. We speak about energy, and we speak about frequency, and we speak about processes, and we speak about assumption and all of these different things. Can you tell me why the stats are showing anything but the majority of us elevating? Can you explain to me? That's rhetorical because I don't really want you to explain. However, can you answer the question as to why the majority of us are still deeply depressed, right? Bitching, moaning, and complaining, right? Behaviors. Let's talk about behaviors, our behaviors. Do anyone want to tell me? Anyone want to tell me why we do the things that we do? Which we want to change. How do we get from point A to point B? How do we get there, my loves? Only person I'm calling is the popo. The popo. All right now. Listen, come on now. Come on now. Behaviors. See? Somebody paying attention, and that somebody is Lala. Reprogram your mind. Jade, awareness, yes. Our behaviors are predicated. Our behaviors are dictated by our programs. What programs, Venus? What you mean by programs? I'm not just talking about televised programs. I'm not only talking about the television. I'm talking about our behaviors. Everything you do is predicated upon what? Your mental programming. Awareness, also mental programming. Our behavior patterns. What are behavioral patterns? They are the repeated way of acting, thinking, or feeling that becomes ingrained over time due to what? Habit, repetition, conditioning, external stimuli. All of these patterns can be what? Conscious or unconscious. Can be what? They can be done consciously or unconsciously. 90% of them are done unconsciously, which means you are unaware of it. As much as you think you are aware, you are not. Because unless your reality dictates, unless your reality reflects more of what you actually want in life instead of less of what you actually want in life, baby, you haven't arrived there. Your programming haven't changed as much as you think, right? So when it comes down to creating a new desired reality, when it comes to starting new programs, infinite gratitude, my love. Thank you. That was pretty, right? In order to change your behaviors, in order to attract, manifest who you want, it's not just a cliche, baby. You have to change what? You have to get to the core of what? Your mental programming. In order to do that, you need to have mentoring and instruction and training on how to do that. Every behavior, everything that you do is predicated upon your dominant mental database. And all of our behavior patterns is developed through repetition and us reinforcing them. So every time you operate with a lack of integrity, a lack of honor, every time you knowingly or unknowingly choose the lesser and not the greater, every time you knowingly or unknowingly choose not to do something about your current situation, every time you knowingly or unknowingly choose to walk where you walk, to drive where you drive, to work where you work, to fellowship how you fellowship, to entertain who you entertain, that is influencing your reality. You are already operating in abundance. It's just a lot of us are experiencing an abundance of people, places, and things that we no longer want. Why is this important? Because what you don't know continues to hurt you. It don't matter how much you talk like you ain't walking. It don't matter how much you speak. This is why I say all the time, simply speaking affirmations don't work. Simply praying don't work. Simply meditating don't work. You know why those things will not ever work is because you're missing the most imperative pieces. You're missing the elements. You're missing certain things. And that is alignment. If you do not understand what brain and heart coherence is, if you do not understand what brain and heart incoherence is, if you do not understand magnetism, and I'm talking about on the fundamental, foundationally, if you do not understand these things, what you don't know is going to continually hurt you. And not only you, it is going to hurt the people who you claim you love. Let's change our perception and our perspective of love. What is love? What is love? What is love? What is love? What is love, my baby? We throw this word around all the time. Remember, comprehension. Just because you can articulate, just because you can read, don't mean that you're comprehending what it is. It doesn't mean that you're understanding what it is. What is love? We talking about we love ourselves, we love our family, we love our work, we love, we love, we love. Baby, what's your perspective of love? What's your perception of love? Because I can tell you what it ain't by the stories you tell. Oop, oopsie. File infinite gratitude for the support follow. What you don't know keeps you from attracting what and who you want. This is a fact. It's a fact. It's indisputable. So are we ready to get uncomfortable? Are we ready to be uncomfortable? Are we ready to be uncomfortable? A wise woman once said, I for the love of me, I'm unable to recall her name right now, but she mentioned, she said, let me tell you something. If you have any type of mentor, coach, educator, anyone that you love, right? On whatever level of love, if they're not expressing to you that you need to start getting uncomfortable in your comfortabilities and not just saying it. Can somebody tell me the prefix to action? Come on, let's comprehend together. Let's learn together. Can somebody, this works with participation. Can somebody tell me the prefix to action, to the word action? Can somebody tell me the prefix to the word action? What is the prefix to the word action? Come on, intelligent people, intelligent souls, beautiful souls. What is the prefix to the word action? Dun-dun-dun-dun. That's the opposite, Phoenix. Reaction, the opposite. The prefix to the, there you go. Which gift algorithm, gift for them. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Yes, act. The prefix to action is act. In order for there to be action, in order for there to be action, in order for you to take action, you must first act. Just like alignment. To be in alignment, you must first be aligned. So if you're not if you're not doing, if you're not acting, if you're not taking the steps, the required steps, guess what you're not going to be in alignment with? This is why I say simply speaking affirmations don't work. This is why I say simply meditating and visualizing isn't going to work if you do not understand the fundamental principles of the governing laws that has everything to do with meditating effectively, visualizing effectively, right? Just because you sit in one spot and close your eyes, whether you laying down or sitting upright, baby, does not mean that that's going to yield you the results that you want. If that was the case, then wouldn't more of us be living a life that we actually want to live, that we actually want to desire? Right? We've been on here an hour. We should be way past 8,000. Right? It's imperative. The stats are not lying. Right? They're not 100%, because I would never say all stats are finite, but there are a lot of truths in these stats. 22.8% of adults are experiencing mental illnesses. That is approximately 57.8 million people. And a lot of us are amongst that number. I don't want that for your life. Thank you so much for those who are tapping the screen. I sincerely appreciate it. Infinite gratitude, right? Young adults ages 18 to 25 have had the highest rate, 33.7% experience, who are experiencing mental illnesses. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of men and women. That's a lot of our youth. That's a lot of our youth. Far too many, if you ask me. Far too many, if you ask me. 5.4% of those same adults are experiencing unaliving thoughts. That's an alarming amount of people. 12.8 million people, according to Mental Health America. Poverty in the U.S. alone, 37.9 million people. And those are just that's just the number, whether it's close, even if you take away 1 million or 2, that's still an alarming amount of people who are suffering from lack and poverty. Infinite gratitude gift for them. Infinite gratitude, love. That's still an alarming amount of people, and that's a lot of us. And a lot of these people are the same ones who's attempting to advise you. How are you gonna advise me on anything when you're suffering from the same shit I'm suffering from? Does that make sense? How are you trying to teach me how to not be desperate and you hard pressed for $1? And I say that with all due respect. I do say that with all due respect, because I've experienced living in poverty before. I've experienced deep states of depression before. I experienced not only unaliving thoughts, I attempted. It wasn't my time. So I'm not speaking from something that I read, only read external information. I'm not speaking from that standpoint. 95 of my teachings come from internal experience, not external. So I understand. How am I going to teach you about how not to be depressed when I'm fucking suffering from depression myself? When I'm experiencing unaliving thoughts myself? Even as a mentor, I've been a mentor for 15 plus years. And within those 15 plus years, let me tell you something. Let me say this. There were several times that I took a seat. When I say take a seat, I had to take a seat because I was going through some shit. I couldn't possibly tell you how to overcome something that I'm in myself, even though I understood why I was in it, because I needed to experience it. However, at the time, I had enough integrity. I have enough integrity to say, you know what, Venus? This is the moment where you sit down and replenish. This is the moment where you're currently able to advise, to coach, to mentor anybody about the things that you are experiencing. Why? Because you're experiencing it yourself. How am I going to teach you how to gain financial freedom and wealth, or to attract different streams of income when I'm hard pressed for you to for $1? How is that literally possible? And we're not keen to listening to the cues because we're not tapped in enough. It is impossible. You can't train me on how to be a damn medical physician if you are a damn electrician. Yeah, do electricians require for you to have some sort of sturdy hands? Absolutely. But baby, put together some wires, not to invalidate that experience or that mastery, but that's a hell of a different when it comes to cutting somebody open, baby. It's hell of a different when it comes to moving around some organs. Okay, I don't want no electrician operating on my body just because they know how to put a red and blue wire together. Exactly. Namaste. I quit my social work job of 4 years because I started to question my own mental health. Hey, something that sometimes that's required. Thank you for the great energy. Always look forward to the next one. Ashe, my love. Ashe. Thank you, Jade. Right? So we have to pay attention to these things because they matter. They absolutely matter. There are two leading causes that prevent individuals from elevating and ascending. And just to take a pause for the cause for all of you who are coming in, my name is Venus. Peace, love, peace. I'm an educator. This is what I do. I educate. Okay. We may laugh, we may joke, but however, keep in mind that I'm an educator, right? I teach self mastery, all things mastery, so you can master yourself and master your reality, right? Why? Because there's no such thing as us cutting off and on a switch. We're just not a switch that we can cut on and off. We are constantly receiving. There's always an energy exchange, a transmutation of energy, baby. There's no days off, especially when you want something. I'm not talking about you physically working 24/7 straight through it. I'm not speaking about that, right? But if you think your life is a joke, if you think you can take a break on elevating, you are sadly mistaken. Breaks and rest are different. There's a such thing as resting, but there's no such thing as taking a break when it's time to elevate, when it's time to ascend, when it's time to stop getting off that damn dysfunctional hamster wheel you call life. Woo! Fear of failure. Fear of failure. Many of us are paralyzed by fear of failure. Fear alone, which prevents many of us from taking the necessary steps towards personal growth. We are fearful of the way people are going to see us. We're fearful the way people are going to judge us. We're fearful of what we may have to release. Notice I didn't say give up. However, release, we're fearful of what we may have to exchange, right? We're fearful of what we do not currently know. Fear, fear, fear. And what I teach is not to disseminate fear. It's not to get rid of fear. It's to move in spite of fear. Fear is a natural physical experience. It's a natural physical emotion. It's not about deleting anything, just like I teach in my self-mastery course. It's not about deleting mental programs. There's no such thing as deleting any fucking thing. Every mental database, every snapshot, every experience, there's no such thing as deleting it. The goal is to starve what isn't serving you. So the goal isn't to completely, I'm not in fear. If fear is what it is, call it by its name. Call it by its name. However, the goal is to move, even if you're a little fearful. Move in it. You're the person that control fear. It's about you mastering it or it mastering you. There's a difference. You mastering it or it mastering you. A lot of us are so fearful of the way people are going to speak about us, look at us, if we just pull back. Whether you explain yourself or not, this people pleasing shit, this just wanting a like or wanting a hug or want to be a part of a group so goddamn bad, where you are sacrificing your very invaluable, most precious gift, which is your life force energy, for a fucking like, a follow, a heart, a hug, or participation, or I'm a part of, or even for $1 or $2. Let's make that make sense. We talking serious, right? Yes, move in spite of, Toya. Move in spite of. Fear creates an endless cycle of avoidance. Just because you avoid something don't mean it disappears. Remember, we are constantly feeding or starving. Let's say it together. I am constantly feeding or starving the frequencies that show up in my life. I am constantly feeding or starving the experiences, what and who I attract in my life. I am in control of what I feed and what I starve. No one else is dictating your reality but you. I know some of us may currently think that someone else is really in control. And on one side of the spectrum, they very well may be. And then on the other side, they are not. People, places, and entities need your permission to do anything to you. I hope that doesn't go over y'all heads. And stop thinking that the only way for you to give consent is verbally. It goes deeper than that, my loves. Confidence is the second leading cause as to why many of us are not attracting what and who we want to attract. So, how do we fix it? How do we fix it? How do we fix it? That's the goal. That's the key, right? How do we fix it? How do we fix it? Y'all want to know how do we fix it? The path to your desired destination, no matter what it is, there's a formula. And right now, I am in the process of my Creating Your Desired Reality Master Program, right? Which teaches the fundamentals of manifesting and attracting, right? Understanding mind and body awareness, understanding the principles and practices, understanding frequency, energy, alignment, specifically and most importantly, understanding the neurobiological presence and the influence that it has in your life. Understanding mental and cognitive reprogramming as far as behavioral analysis, important, right? We resume again. The next program that I'm going to be starting is in January. Enrollment is now available. If you are interested, you can learn more information by tapping on my profile pic and going to the very first tab. Is an acronym CYDR, Creating Your Desired Reality. I am only speaking to those who are absolutely serious with understanding that there are things that you currently do not know. There's reasons why people say a chosen few or only a few or only a small percentage of people who are willing at this moment and this time, who are willing to be uncomfortable and take the necessary steps to changing their lives. So if you are interested, I am presenting the opportunity as I am destined to do, as I am commissioned to do. I'm presenting the opportunity. In other words, you are simply just being reminded of what you're supposed to do right now, because there's no such thing as you being here without being in alignment with like frequencies. There's no such thing as you being here just by luck. The information, guidance, what and who you need to get to your next level will always be presented to you. It is up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. It is up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. Especially with the pronounced energies that is going on in the world today. A lot of people, a lot of that number in them stats that I told you, the people who are experiencing unaliving thoughts, who are deeply depressed, it's around this season. It's around these seasons. Christmas, New Year's, even though that's I'm not even going to get into the unrighteous holidays, celebrations, and the fact that they ciphering off our energy. I'm not even going to get into that. I don't want to get this live banned. Right? Help is always around you. Help is always around you. Guidance is always around you. Assistance is always around you. The decision is always yours to make, and no one can take that away from you. However, if you are present here, if you are not currently in the Creating Your Desired Master program, I would encourage you to at least get the information. There's a lot that is offered. A lot that is offered. And there is no hidden secret. It is a small investment. You will invest something. Always. There will always be an energy exchange. There is no such thing as free. Going back to comprehension and understanding perspective, there is no such thing as free. No such thing. That is a fucking delusion and a deception. There is always going to be an exchange. And once you comprehend that, you will start paying more attention to what you exchange, how you exchange it, where you're exchanging it, why you're exchanging what you're exchanging. Because all of those things matter. Get that out your head. Especially if you want to attract more money, especially if you want to create different streams of income. Baby, you can't do that asking how much it is. If the reason you're asking how much it is because you got a damn free mindset, because you got a hand-me-out mindset, because you got a poverty or lack mindset, that's not the way it works. Right? Yes, quiet storm. That's not the way it works. It doesn't work that way. You have to be willing to exchange. You have to be willing. You have to be open to give and receive. It's not just take. Pardon me. It's not just take. Let me read you something from a neuroscience standpoint. Everything we think, everything we do, in fact, everything who we are, is the result of the actions of about 100 billion neurons. Remember when I spoke to you about mental programming, the reasons why we behave the way we behave and do what we do is because of those 100 billion neurons, neural connectors and pathways, right? So when I tell you that in order for you to learn the art of mastering self, mastering your reality, in order for you to get yourself into alignment to attract what and who you desire, no matter what it is, no matter who it is, in order for you to get in position, in order for you to now start behaving, in order for you to now start feeling and vibrating on anything, you need to understand the neuroscience behind what you do. That's the enforcer. And there is There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's just what it is. Those are the facts. Those are the facts, my loves. Right? So at this point, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I am here. If you have any questions to ask, we're gonna open it up for questions. But first, TikTok, give me a second. For my YT family, it has been incredibly powerful. Infinite gratitude for your support. I hope and meditate that the words and energies and frequencies that has been shared with you resonate with you, and that you get to a point where you're just uncomfortable and you're finally ready to make a decision to learn to master self and master your reality. Until next Thursday evening for our next master lesson, peace.